Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. And today we are going to be previewing the game between Barcelona and Leganes, round 31 in La Liga. Just 8 games to go now in the league season as we're inching closer every single game now to winning that title. As always, guys, the video is coming to you today courtesy of the OneFootball app, which you can always find in the description down below. An interesting stat here from the OneFootball app say that Barcelona have faced Leganes 3 times in La Liga, winning all 3 of them, scoring 10 goals in the process, an average of 3.3 per game. Will we repeat that tomorrow? 89% of people on the OneFootball app believe that we'll beat them tomorrow, and also my own poll on my community section. Thank you, as always, for getting involved. A large majority of you guys going with winning tomorrow by 3+ goals, so very, very confident. I'm expecting to see some rotations, and we're going to be going over all that and more in this preview video. Kickoff will be coming to us live from the Camp Nou on Saturday night under the lights at 8:45 local time. As always, guys, here are the times right around the world where you might be in the world for this game, and it's usually a pretty good time. Saturday night under the lights usually inspires the players to put on a pretty good show. It's quite a quick turnaround. You know, we played on Wednesday in the Champions League, now playing on Saturday in the league, but it does give us a bit more time between now and that second leg, which will be on Tuesday. So interesting there to see if we're going to rotate. I think we need to, and obviously looking at the league table, we are top and by some distance. But after that draw on Saturday against Sevilla, our lead at the top of the table has narrowed just a little bit now to 9 points. That was a disappointing game, more about the performance than result. In some ways it was very good of us to get a point at the end of the day of the Atletico Madrid gaining on us. However, a win this weekend could prove very, very significant in the title race, not only on our perspective, but also given that Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid will be going head-to-head this weekend on Sunday in the Madrid derby. So one of those two teams will drop points. Obviously, looking at the table, you would have to say the most favourable result for us would actually be for Real Madrid to beat Atletico. But having said that, you don't really want to support Real Madrid and fully get behind them in any game. So I would personally say I would like a draw. That way we can gain on Atletico, we can get our lead at the top of the table back again, and hopefully from then on in, we will inch closer to that title, and it could even happen by the time we play Real. Looking at Leganes, though, they are currently 14th in the league table. They had a really, really good start of the season. They look really encouraging. They've had some good results, to be fair, along the way, but they have fallen away a bit in 2018. They had a bad start to the year. They've been really good in the Copa del Rey, though. Obviously, looking at Leganes, you don't really want to completely write them off. You've only got to go back to January, when against all the odds, they went to the Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid to eliminate them from the Copa del Rey. So Leganes, certainly no pushovers. They keep a lot of clean sheets. They're pretty tight at the back, but they really do struggle for results away from home. And at the Camp Nou, with any sort of team really, with the squad that we have, we should expect to be winning this game. Looking back to our previous meeting in November against Leganes in the reverse fixture to this one, we did win by 3-0. Luis Suarez on the score sheet twice before Paulinho added a very late third goal. So very comfortable away from home. Hopefully tomorrow night at the Camp Nou, it can be a very similar sort of story. And I just want to have a bit of a discussion with you guys before we go on to those rotations, who we should be rotating, who's played the most minutes, and we're going to look into that in a bit more detail. But I just want to talk to you about this unbeaten record that we do have in La Liga right now. We fought back against Sevilla. We kept that unbeaten league streak going. It is now 37 games in La Liga that we have been unbeaten, both between the Luis Enrique era and also now under Ernesto Valverde for the majority of those. It's already a club record. The previous club record set by Pep Guardiola in the league was 31 games in 2010 to 2011, but we're now 1 game away from actually reaching and equaling the all-time Spanish league record, which is currently held by Real Sociedad. Sociedad went 38 games without losing in the top flight of Spanish football. That was between 1979 and 1980. If we avoid defeat against Leganes on Saturday, we will then be the joint record holders for the longest unbeaten run in the league ever in Spanish history. history. And then we would also have the opportunity to break that record if we then avoid a defeat in our next league game, which is against Valencia. Won't be easy, but it is at the Camp Nou. What I would want to say though about this is we don't want to get too bogged down by these records. Obviously, to chase history, to make history is unbelievable. It's an amazing feeling. It's a really fantastic thing for the club, something everybody can be proud of, but they're not be-all end-all. It's not about a title. It's simply a record. We shouldn't be sort of playing Messi, Suarez, Iniesta, Piqué, game in, game out, simply to get these records. We should wrap up the league now, no matter what, and we need to make sure that we're looking at the bigger picture, the Champions League, the latter stages of that, making sure that our squad is in the best possible condition going forward. Even though the records are nice, even though they'd be a fantastic addition, we have to look at the overall picture and say, if we're resting players and lose that record, but still win the league, and we arrive in a really good moment in the Champions League, it'll all be worth it. And that brings me on to my rotations. And we did speak quite a lot about this when we spoke about Lionel Messi and burnout and overworking him. And it's not only him, a lot of the first team players have played an extraordinary amount of minutes in the league this season and right across all competitions. Lionel Messi has made 3,785 minutes across all competitions this season. Absolutely massive numbers. Suarez is only just behind him. He's been playing an awful lot as well. And so is Ivan Rakitic, somebody with an incredible engine. But even he at this stage of the season must starting to get tired a little bit. Ter Stegen is obviously up there. Busquets as well. Piqué, Alba, Umtiti. Basically, our starting 11, the one that you would use in the big Champions League games, they have all been used far too often this season. Maybe we haven't rotated as much as we could have done, but now is the time to do it. Now we've nearly wrapped up the league. We've got some games here, even the second leg against Roma, where we can afford to rotate, and that does bring me on to my starting lineup. And obviously, at this stage, guys, when I'm recording this video, I'm doing it a bit earlier today. I haven't seen the squad. The squad has not been released yet. I'm actually going to watch my local team later on this evening, so I've not been able to do the video as late as I usually do and wait for the squad. So there may be some changes to this, but as I'm recording this right now, this would be the team that I would personally pick. And be warned, there are some big rotations. And it does actually start with me making a very big decision when it comes to the goalkeeper. Obviously, Ter Stegen, very good against Roma the other night. Even though he did make a mistake, he recovered from that fantastically. But I think Cillessen actually deserves the game. I think he's a brilliant backup goalkeeper. He's got a great attitude. He's been really good this season, both internationally and also on the club form. And also simply looking ahead of that Copa del Rey final, if he's going to play in that, which I believe that he will, he does need to play a little bit in the lead up. And why not play him at home against Leganes in this game? A very good backup and a very able player. Jordi Alba at left back, simply because there's not a lot else. Unless Barcelona B players are called up, which I can't really see under Valverde right now. He doesn't seem to want to go down that road at this point in the season. Cucurella, Miranda, they could have been called up, potentially play this game. Digne's out injured, so unfortunately, even though he's played a lot of games this season, it would have to be Jordi Alba. Then I would go at right back with Nelson Semedo, simply because he deserves a run in the team. He deserves a run simply after his performance against Roma, which was outstanding. He deserves a reward for that, and he should start in this game in his preferred right back position. Then at centre back, I think both Umtiti and Piqué have both looked tired in recent weeks. Both of them have been maybe making a few mistakes that they wouldn't usually do, and for that reason, I would simply start with the duo of Vermaelen, and I would also start with Yerry Mina. I think he deserves to play. I think he has hardly played since he joined the club. Again, Leganes at home is certainly an opportunity to do that, and Vermaelen was very, very good when Umtiti was out. When Piqué was out, he stepped in, he played very well. He's a very accomplished player, and for me, he deserves to start in this game. At the base of midfield, I would personally go with Andre Gomes. I think he deserves to play in that kind of role. Busquets desperately needs a rest. Apparently, he asked to come off against Roma because he was feeling some pain. We do not want anything to go wrong with Sergio Busquets. Gomes has proved that in the games like this against mid-table opposition, he can play in this role, and I would personally play him in that position. Another man who deserves a start, Denis Suarez. He deserves a start again. He's made two fantastic cameo appearances, one against Sevilla where he came on and he changed the game in many ways, and also against Roma. He came on, he was doing dribbles, he was looking really comfortable on the ball, and he deserves a start in that attacking midfield position, therefore giving Iniesta a vital rest. Alongside him in that midfield trio, I would go with Sergio Roberto personally. I think he definitely deserves a start once again in that midfield role, but not like he was against Roma. Against Roma, he was out on that right-hand side. He deserves a chance in that midfield trio alongside Gomes, alongside Denis Suarez, and I think against Leganes, that midfield would would be able to keep control of the ball, would be able to keep control of the game, and I think we got some really good, technically good players in there that can definitely get past Leganes, and all of them certainly deserve a start in those positions. Now, to the left of attack, I would personally go here with, of course, Philippe Coutinho. Didn't play any part in the Champions League. He's not played many minutes whatsoever this season, obviously, since joining the club. Really, really important, I think, that he gets on the playing field, that once again, he's preferred on that left-hand side. It's his preferred position. I think he can do some damage there against Leganes. I would certainly play him. On the other side, you know exactly what's coming. Ousmane Dembele didn't play at all against Roma for whatever reason. Surely, along with Coutinho, he must start against Leganes. He can score, he can assist against them. That would really help his confidence, and maybe then we could see him in the second leg. And finally, we wouldn't go with Messi, we wouldn't go with Suarez. It's Paco Alcácer. Therefore, resting Luis Suarez, Lionel Messi, two players who have played so much this season, badly need rest ahead of the massive games we have to come. Alcácer, Coutinho, Dembele. I believe those three could get the job done against Leganes. I think in that team there, you're resting all of your key players, you're resting as much as you can, but still, when you look at that team there, there's a lot of international players, there's a lot of quality, there's a lot of flair as well, certainly a team that can hurt you, and I personally think with those changes, even though it's a lot, we could still get the job done against Leganes, and worst comes to worst, just avoid defeat. Simple as that. I think Valverde surely in this game has to rest some players, but of course, we're going to have to wait until Saturday to find out exactly what he's going to do. But like I said, guys, this video is being recorded before we're seeing the squad list. Maybe when it comes out, this lineup will not be fully possible, but I really, really hope that it is, because I think we really need to rotate, and hopefully we see some of these players getting a run out on Saturday night. My score prediction for this game is going to be Barcelona 3, Leganes 1. I think we've definitely got the quality there to score some goals against Leganes. Maybe we'll let one in, but I think in general we can win at the Camp Nou. Hopefully an improved performance on what we saw against Sevilla and Roma. We can do this. Let's get closer to that title and keep this unbeaten run going if we can. I will see you tomorrow, guys, for the big game. Leave your thoughts and your predictions down below. But until then, as always, Vasca El Barça.
Barça, Barça.